Alright, what's going on, guys? Your boy TG. Welcome back to another video. So, in this video, we are going to preview the NHL games that are coming on Halloween today. And figure since that today's Halloween, I figure why not wear my Jason mask? And also, I have on my Jason jersey. I don't know if you guys can see it. I think I'll stand up so you guys can see it. So, yeah, I got on my Jason jersey as well in this video. So, just goes with the mask and all. So, but anyway, we are going to go ahead and get started. So, we got our little slideshow with us for today. So, and of course, happy Halloween to everybody that is watching this video. All right, so we got 7 games on the slate for today. So we got the Seattle Kraken taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. And then another game at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time, St. Louis Blues taking on the Philadelphia Flyers. And then another game at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. We got the Anaheim Ducks traveling to the Steel City to take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. And then another game at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. We got the Montreal Canadiens heading to Washington, D.C. to take on the Washington Capitals. And then another game at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time, Boston Bruins taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. And then we got a 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time game with the Edmonton Oilers heading to the Music City to take on the Nashville Predators. And this game will be the only game that you get to watch on national television unless you have NHL Center Ice or Sportsnet Plus or ESPN Plus. Well, I mean, you can watch it on ESPN Plus on here, but yeah, this game will come on Hulu and ESPN Plus. Now, if you have like NHL Center Ice or Sportsnet Plus or anything like that that you can watch NHL games on, then you can watch these other games right here. And then the final game of the night to wrap up this hockey Halloween slate will be the Chicago Blackhawks taking on the San Jose Sharks at 9:30 p.m. Central Time. So let's get started. So our first game, Seattle Kraken versus Toronto Maple Leafs. Of course, the Kraken are on their 5-game road trip. They are coming off of an 8-2 win against the Montreal Canadiens Tuesday. Brandon Montour, he had a hat trick in that game as well. The Kraken are 2-2-1 in their last 5, and they're 5-1-1 of the season. 5-4-1 in the season. Jared McCann, he leads the Kraken in points with 14, so 5 goals, 9 assists for 14 points. Jordan Eberle leads the Kraken in goals with 6, so he has a total of 9 points for the season, so 6 goals, 3 assists for 9 points of the season. And then Jared McCann leads the Kraken in assists with 9 as well. And Philip Grubauer is going to be getting the start tonight for the Kraken. He is 1-3-0 of the season with a 3.10 goals against average and a .881 save percentage. Against the Leafs overall, Philip Grubauer is 4-4-1 with a 3.54 goals against average and a .887 save percentage. For the Maple Leaf side, they are coming off of a 6-4 win against the Jets Monday. So, of course, we saw 2 hat tricks in that game. One from John Tavares of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and then another one from Kyle Connor, who notched this 500 career point in yesterday's 6-2 win over the Red Wings. The Maple Leafs are 2-2-1 in their last 5 games, 5-4-1 the season. So, kind of like the Seattle Kraken, or just like the Seattle Kraken heading into this game. Mitch Marner, he leads the Leafs in points with 11, so 1 goal, 10 assists for 11 points of the season. William Nylander leads the Leafs in goals with 6 goals, 4 assists for 10 points of the season. Of course, Mitch Marner leads the Leafs. This should say Lees, not Lees, Leas. This should say Lees, Leads. But he leads the Leafs in assists with 10. Joseph Wall gets the start tonight for Toronto. He is 0-1-0 this season with a 4.08 goals against average and a .846 save percentage. Against the Kraken, he is 1-0-0 with a 2.78 goals against average and a .925 save percentage. And that came in a 4-3 shootout win on November 30th, 2023. And hopefully you guys can hear me in this mask because I know I'm wearing a mask. So I'm trying to lift it up so you guys can be able to hear my voice. But hopefully you can still hear it either way. Anyway, St. Louis Blues taking on the Philadelphia Flyers. The Blues are coming off of an 8-1 devastating loss to the Ottawa Senators Tuesday. They're 2-3-0 in their last 5 games, 5-5-0 of the season. Jordan Cairo leads the Blues in points with 9, so 2 goals, 7 assists for 9 points of the season. Dylan Holloway, who scored in that loss to the Senators, he leads the way for the Blues in goals with 4, so 4 goals, 1 assist for 5 points of the season. Jordan Cairo leads the way for the Blues in assists with 7. Jordan Bennington gets the start tonight for the St. Louis Blues. He is 2-4-0 this season with a 3.12 goals against average and a .895 save percentage. Against the Flyers, he is 5-1-1 with a 2.11 goals against average and a .928 save percentage. Fun fact, Jordan Bennington actually made his NHL debut he played his first NHL game against the Philadelphia Flyers, and he shut them out in that game, which is what turned the Blues season around during that 2018-19 season when they won the Stanley Cup. In that game against the Philadelphia Flyers, Jordan Bennington made his NHL debut. He shut out the Flyers in that game, and he completely turned their whole season around after that first horrible half of the season for the Blues that year. So I just wanted to bring that up. So made his NHL debut against the Flyers, shut him out in his debut, and then took them all the way to the Stanley Cup. So, all right, moving on to the Philadelphia Flyers side. So the Flyers are coming off of a 2-0 shutout win over the Boston Bruins Tuesday. Their first win at TD Garden since October of 2011. They're 2-3-0 in their last 5 games, and there's 3-6-1 of the season. Travis Konechny leads the way for the Flyers in goals, assists, and points. So 5 goals, 5 assists for 10 points. Mateev Michikov has 9 points of the season in 10 games for Philly. So 4 goals, 5 assists for 9 points in 10 games. Sean Couturier has 6 points for the Flyers in 10 games. So 3 goals, 3 assists for 6 points in 10 games. Samuel Ersson gets the start tonight against the Blues. He is 3-2-1 of the season with a 3.00 goals against average and a .890 save percentage. Against the Blues, Ersson is 0-1-1 with a 1.94 goals against average and a .929 save percentage. Anaheim Ducks versus Pittsburgh Penguins. So the Ducks are coming off of a 3-1 win against the New York Islanders Tuesday. They're 2-3-0 in their last 5 games, 4-4-1 of the season. Troy Terry leads the way for the Ducks in goals and points. So 5 goals, 3 assists for 8 points. Mason McTavish leads the way for the Ducks in assists. No goals, 5 assists for 5 points of the season. Lucas Dostal gets the start tonight for Anaheim. He is 4-2-1 of the season with a 2.00 goals against average and a .943 save percentage. Against the Penguins, Dostal is 1-0-0 of the season with a 3.00 goals against average and a .943 save percentage. Pittsburgh Penguins side. So the Penguins, they are coming off of a 5-3 loss to the Minnesota Wild Tuesday. They're actually on a 6-game skid and they're 3-7-1 the season. Before we get into the other parts of this slide, I just want to say that was a great game. Nonetheless, despite the Penguins losing, I felt like it was like a great game nonetheless for both sides. Of course, Marc-Andre Fleury possibly playing his final game in Pittsburgh. And I discussed a lot of this on my Hockey Talk with TG podcast. So if you haven't been listening, you want to make sure you go follow it. It's on Spotify, it's on YouTube, it's on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and more. So I discussed it a lot on there about that game. And it was nice to see Marc-Andre Fleury get a standing ovation from the Penguins crowd, and especially spending 13 seasons with the team. And he certainly did a lot before going to the Vegas Golden Knights during the Golden Knights expansion draft. So, yeah. But hopefully you guys can hear me under this mask, because I know like it's hard to hear somebody when they're speaking under the mask, but hopefully you guys can hear me. Anyway, Evgeny Malkin leads the way for the Penguins in assists and points. So 3 goals, 11 assists for 14 points. Rickard Rakell leads the Ducks in goals with 6. So 6 goals, 2 assists for 8 points of the season. Joel Blomqvist gets his first ever start against Anaheim. And I felt like his game, like his first few games were, not as bad, but right now he's 2-4-0 of the season with a 3.47 goals against average and a .908 save percentage. They actually did send Tristan Jarry down to the AHL, so Tristan Jarry is no longer in the NHL with the Pittsburgh Penguins. He's down in the minors in the AHL. So the Penguins just have Joel Blomqvist and Alex Nedeljkovic as their goalies. All right, Montreal Canadiens taking on the Washington Capitals. So the Canadiens, they're hoping to rebound and get a win tonight in D.C. after their 8-2 loss at home to the Kraken Tuesday. They're 2-2-1 in their past 5 games, 4-5-1 of the season. Nick Suzuki leads the way for the Habs in points with 11. So 3 goals, 8 assists for 11 points of the season. Cole Caulfield, of course, leads the way for them in goals with nine goals, 1 assist for 10 points of the season. Mike Matheson leads the way in assists with 9, so 0 goals, 9 assists for 9 points of the season. Martin St. Louis, he's going to be starting Sam Montembeault in the crease tonight, and I'm kind of surprised at this because he had a tough game in their last game against the Kraken where he let in 5 goals, and then he was replaced by Caden Premu. But he gets to start tonight against the Capitals. He is 3-4-0 this season with a 3.67 goals against average and a .891 save percentage. Against the Capitals alone, he is 2-2-0 with a 3.34 goals against average and a .895 save percentage. The Capitals, they're coming off of a 5-3 win against the New York Rangers Tuesday at home. Alex Ovechkin scored twice in that game. He's now 38 goals away from passing Wayne Gretzky. I think he has 857 goals in his career now, I believe. So he only needs 38 more to pass the great one. Anyway, the Capitals, they are doing really great so far. They are 4-1-0 in their past 5 games, and they're 6-2-0 of the season. Dylan Strome leads the way for the Capitals in assists and points. So 3 goals, 8 assists for 11 points of the season. Tom Wilson leads the way for the Capitals in goals with 5. So 5 goals, 1 assist for 6 points of the season. Connor McMichael has 9 points of the season for the Capitals. He's second in points with 4 goals, 5 assists for 9 points of the season. And Charlie Lindgren is going to be starting in tonight's game against Montreal. He is 2-2-0 with a 2.53 goals against average and a .895 save percentage. Against the Canadiens alone, he is 2-1-0 with a 2.70 goals against average and a .908 save percentage. So he has no problem when it comes to playing Montreal. All right, last 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time game. We got the Boston Bruins taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. So the Bruins are coming off of their 2-0 shutout loss at home Tuesday against the Flyers. They are 1-3-1 in their past 5 games, 4-5-1 of the season. David Pastrnak leads the team in goals and points, so 6 goals, 2 assists for 8 points of the season. Brad Marchand leads the team in assists with 5, so 1 goal, 5 assists for 6 points of the season. And Cole Kopecky has 7 points. He's actually second in team points for the Bruins. So 3 goals, 4 assists for 7 points of the season. Jeremy Swayman gets the start tonight. So Jim Montgomery starting Swayman tonight. He is 3-3-1 in the season with a 2.97 goals against average and a .900 save percentage. Against the Hurricanes alone, he is 3-2-0 with a 2.32 goals against average and a .917 save percentage. Hurricane side. Hurricanes are coming off of a 4-3 overtime win against the Canucks Monday. They're 4-1-0 in their past 5 games, 6-2-0 of the season. They ended their 6-game road trip 5-1-0, so not a bad road trip this year, Carolina. This is actually the start of a 4-game homestand for them as well, and they look to complete it off with a win tonight against the Boston Bruins. Marty Necas leads the way for the Hurricanes in goals, assists, and points. So 4 goals, 7 assists for 11 points this season. Sebastian Aho is second on the team with points with 8. So 3 goals, 5 assists for 8 points of the season. Andrei Snechnikov is tied for third in points with 2 goals, 5 assists for 7 points of the season. Shane Gostisbehere also has 7 points on the team with 4 goals, 3 assists for 7 points of the season. And Pierre Kochetkov gets the start tonight for Carolina in nets. He's 3-1-0 this season with a 2.77 goals against average and a .894 save percentage. Against the Bruins, Kochetkov is 1-0-1 with a 1.95 goals against average and a .938 save percentage. All right, now we move to our 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time game. You can catch this game on Hulu and ESPN Plus. Oilers, they're coming off of a 6-1 loss to the Blue Jackets Monday. They're going to be without their captain, Connor McDavid, in tonight's game as well. He's going to be out 2 to 3 weeks for the Oilers. So that is not good news if you're an Edmonton Oilers fan, especially if you were starting off the season kind of rough and you want to have your superstar player in the lineup for you, but he's going to be out for quite some time. But Edmonton, they're 2-2-1 in their past 5 games, 4-5-1 of the season. Leon Draisaitl leads the way for the Oilers in goals and points. So 6 goals, 4 assists for 10 points of the season. Connor McDavid leads the way in assists with 7, 3 goals, 7 assists for 10 points of the season. Of course, Matthias Ekholm is second in team points with 8, 2 goals, 6 assists for 8 points of the season. Calvin Picker's going to get the start tonight for Edmonton. He is 2-1-0 with a 2.91 goals against average and a .875 save percentage. Against the Predators, he is 1-4-0 with a 3.30 goals against average and a .905 save percentage. I think in the first matchup, I think Picker started in this first matchup as well, but in that win lost against the Blue Jackets, I think Skinner was in there, and then Picker came in, to take him for Chris Conblock to take him out the net. But I think Picker started in the first meeting against Nashville. Of course, these two teams will be facing off, I believe, in November again for their final meeting of the season. The Predators, this is supposed to say loss. This isn't supposed to say win. This is supposed to say loss. So they are coming off of a 3-2 overtime loss against the Lightning Monday. They're 3-1-1 in their past 5 games. They're 3-5-1 of the season. Philip Forsberg leads the way in goals and points, so 4 goals, 4 assists for 8 points. Ryan O'Reilly leads the way in assists with 5, so 3 goals, 5 assists for 8 points of the season. Jonathan Marchessault is second on the team with points with 6, so 2 goals, 4 assists for 6 points of the season. And UC Sauls is going to start tonight for Nashville. He is 2-4-1 this season with a 2.75 goals against average and a .905 save percentage. Against the Oilers, he is 3-6-1 with a 3.07 goals against average and a .916 save percentage. Final matchup of this 7-game slate will feature the Chicago Blackhawks taking on the San Jose Sharks. Blackhawks are coming off of a 5-2 win over the Colorado Avalanche on the road. This is their 3rd game of their five-game road trip heading into tonight. They're 1-4-0 in their past 5 games, and they're 3-6-1 of the season. Connor Bedard leads the way for the Blackhawks in assists and points, so 3 goals, 6 assists for 9 points of the season. Ryan Donato leads the Blackhawks in goals with 5, so 5 goals, 1 assist for 6 points of the year. He did have 2 goals in that win against Colorado, one of them being the game-winning goal, and another one was an empty net goal. Seth Jones is tied for second on the team with points with 7. So 1 goal, 6 assists for 7 points of the season. Teuvo Teravainen, who I feel like has been creating good chemistry with Connor Bedard ever since he returned back to Chicago. He has 7 points on of the season as well. So 3 goals, 4 assists for 7 points of the season. Peter Mrazek gets the start tonight for Chicago, so Luke Richardson starting Peter Mrazek in goal. He's 3-5-0 this season with a 3.04 goals against average and a .896 save percentage. Against the Sharks, Peter Mrazek is 10-3-0 with a 2.38 goals against average and a .919 save percentage, so he has no problem facing San Jose. He's been dominant against San Jose alone. But the Sharks, they have put up 2 straight wins after starting the season, 7-2, I believe. So they're coming off of a 4-2 win over the LA Kings Tuesday. They're 2-3-0 in their past 5 games, 2-7-2 of the season. Mikhail Granlund leads the way in assists and points, so 5 goals, 8 assists for 13 points. Tyler Toffoli leads the way for the Sharks in goals with 6 goals, 4 assists for 10 points of the season. William Eklund is third in points with 8, 2 goals, 6 assists for 8 points of the season. And Mackenzie Blackwood gets the start tonight for San Jose. He's 1-3-2 of the season with a 3.89 goals against average and a .888 save percentage. Against the Blackhawks alone, he is 3-0-2 with a 2.14 goals against average and a .919 save percentage. Of course, he's played with the Devils before, and of course, at that time, the Devils kind of have been winning some games against the Blackhawks. So that is where that comes into play as well. So these two net miners do not mind playing against each other. They have been dominant against each other as well. So it should be no issue when it comes to facing the Blackhawks and, of course, the Sharks. Well, Peter Mraz against the Sharks, Mackenzie Blackwood against the Blackhawks. All right, and that is going to do it for this video. So just a couple of notes to say before I end the video. Of course, leave a comment down below. Make sure you like and subscribe to the TG Hockey channel along with following the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. It is on all, and I repeat, all of your podcast streaming platforms. So on Spotify, on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, on iHeartRadio, on Amazon Music, and more of your local podcast streaming platforms. And another thing I want to say is you're going trick-or-treating, make sure you stay safe. Watch out for your surroundings. But if you're not going trick-or-treating, there is 7 NHL games on the slate for you to watch on this hockey Halloween day. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for me. So, like I said, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.